Daviess County Fiscal Court to order. Today is July 10th, 2025. Commissioner Castlen, if you would open with a prayer and the pledge, please.
Yes, thank you. Please stand if you're able. Bow your head and pray with me. God in heaven, thank you for the changing of the seasons, for the sunlight that has followed the rain, and for the days that become long, so that we may enjoy the splendor of the world around us. As we gather tonight, we pray for those whose lives have been forever changed by the power of the storms and rain experienced over these last few days. Please help them find strength in you and strength from the support of your people. We ask for your blessing for our community and our country to lead us all to work together in support of doing what is best for one another, regardless of personal beliefs. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start, I just want to make welcome our state representative, DJ Johnson. He's with us this evening, so thank you for joining us. First item.
1, consideration for approval. A, minutes of June 30th, 2025, Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We've had the minutes to review for a few days. Do I hear any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a motion and a second. These are all the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Do we have any questions for our treasurer? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
C, fund transfers.
Motion to approve. Second.
And a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson.
Fiscal Court transfers unencumbered funds from the general fund to the bond fund, road fund, and jail fund, and from the jail fund to the bond fund to provide operating monies for the respective funds and to service debt. We do this annually. This is the first round of budgeted fund transfers for fiscal year 25-26. I'm requesting authority to transfer $1,752,254 from the general fund to the road fund for operations, $3,858,924 from the general fund to the jail fund, again for operations, $117,700 from the general fund to the bond fund, which is to cover the Operations Center Complex debt service, $375,000 from the jail fund to the bond fund, which is to cover the detention center facility debt service, and $593,000 from the general fund to the bond fund, which is to cover the public safety radio system debt service. These transfers are budgeted in standard practice. I request your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Are there any questions from the court for Mr. Johnson? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
D, fund creation, cash balance transfer, and budget transfers.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson.
The Kentucky State Local Finance Officer is requiring all counties to separate the opioid abatement trust funds to a new fund, which is designated Fund 74 Opioid Abatement Settlement Fund. This requirement was sent too late in the year to account for in the approved fiscal year 25-26 budget. So in order for us to comply in this fiscal year for uniformity of financial reporting, Fiscal Court must 1, approve the creation of the new fund, 2, approve the transfer of the opioid settlement funds in our financial system to the new fund, and 3, approve a series of budget transfers to prepare and balance the budget in light of the new fund and cash transfer. The document in your binders accomplishes this, whereby the current balance of the opioid settlement funds in the amount of $1,464,951.45 will be moved to Fund 74, and the general fund in the fiscal year 25-26 budget will reduce by $1.5 million, with the new opioid abatement settlement fund increasing by $1.5 million. The total budget will remain the same at $110,219,426. This new fund will present the financials the same way the Economic Development Fund presents now, which is Fund 31, separate from all other operations. The offices of the State Auditor of Public Accounts and Department for Local Government have reviewed the document in your binders and see no issues. I request your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Are there any questions or comments from the court? Commissioner Condor.
Thank you, Judge. To clarify, maybe some points for the public and everyone else to understand, the opiate settlement funds are monies that were basically awarded to the state of Kentucky by Big Pharma due to opiate abuses that were done some time ago. And since that time, I believe what the county has received its funds, and as has the city of Owensboro, plus other counties and cities throughout the state. And there have been, I believe even Commissioner Marksberry has at least proposed some different action plans. Myself included, I have done the same. And so the funds, hopefully we can do this in combination with the city, but is there any other movement, I guess, that maybe I could ask of putting any plans in place, number one. Number two, maybe we should define what the money can be used for. So that maybe we can do that first. Treasurer, do you know exactly what this money can be used for and how it should be used?
Yes, KRS 15291 details various approved uses of the money, all of which are directly related to opioid abatement. Any proposed expenditure that's not detailed in that statute requires the review and approval of the county attorney. And since these distributions flow through the Department of Law, they heavily recommend, if not require, the county attorney's review and approval on all expenditures as they relate to opioid abatement specifically.
So very targeted funds.
Yes.
Very targeted toward opiate, a very abused drug back in its day. Maybe we could consider legislation that would maybe loosen that a little bit. Today, probably a significant portion of our drug abuse is not necessarily related just to opiates, but whether it be methamphetamine, fentanyl, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're concentrating this kind of money, a significant amount of money, to only one piece of drug, it may be problematic as time has moved. I know the state has even looked at regulating kratom. And every time they did it, they just changed the formula, becoming something different. In this case, maybe we should advocate not only different uses, but also what can we do with this money, because it seems very tunneled as to what we can do with it. So thank you, Judge. Welcome any other comments in that regard, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments or questions?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes, I have attended several meetings regarding the use of the opioid settlement funds. And there's a great model that Bowling Green has taken on for this. We've had a Zoom meeting with them. They actually did that under BRAD, which is like our grad. There's several options out there. It's my understanding this is only for opioid settlement. There are some different criteria. I'll be glad to get with you. I have a ton of research I've already done on this. I won't go into all this tonight, but yes, I agree that we need to have a plan, and I'd like to see that happen soon. But we are working on that. I'm working on that with the Drug Steering Committee here in town, which there's several other people on that committee that are in this business of helping people that have been addicted to drugs. And I really hope that we can use this money to help the people that have suffered the loss from this. And I'm glad that we're being good stewards of the money by holding it and not just doing something quickly without really making sure that we're using the funds to the best of their ability. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone from the public wish to speak to this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
E, annual incentive payment for calendar year 2025 for county jailer.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
For certain elected officials, upon completion of 40 hours of training per KRS 64.5275, Section 6, Fiscal Court is required to pay the incentive payment directed by a letter from the Department for Local Government. You have in your binders a letter for Jailer Maglinger. Although this payment is required, it must still be reviewed and approved by Fiscal Court. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions or comments from the court? Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
F, change order 7 for bid number 2425-11, purchase of 89 new fire hydrants.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
Yes, Judge, as the contractor continues installation of these new fire hydrants in the Ohio County area, they discovered they required additional valve boxes to complete the project. This change order in the amount of $560.32 covers the cost of 8 additional valve boxes with lids. This cost will be fully reimbursed by the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority Grant Assistance Agreement approved in fiscal court session held February 6, 2024. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court?
No.
Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
G, change order 8 for bid number 2425-11, purchase of 89 new fire hydrants.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
Again, as a contractor continues installation of these new fire hydrants in the Ohio County area, they discovered additional lines buried deeper than anticipated. This change order in the amount of $9,521.54 covers the cost of 8 additional fire hydrant extension kits. This cost will be fully reimbursed by the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority Grant Assistance Agreement approved in fiscal court session held February 6, 2024. I would recommend approval.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court?
No.
Any questions or comment from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
H, change order 1 for bid number 2425-30, Morton J. Holbrook Judicial Center HVAC replacement project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
Due to the size of the VAV boxes used in the installation, 2 sprinkler pendants and 1 sprinkler head on the 3rd floor will need to be relocated. This change order in the amount of $2,090 covers the labor to relocate the 2 pendants, change 1 sprinkler head on the 3rd floor of the Judicial Center, and the recertification of the sprinkler system once the work is complete. This project is fully reimbursed by the Administrative Office of the Courts, and the cost adjustment due to this change order has been approved by AOC. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court?
No.
Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I, change order 2 for bid number 2425-30, Morton J. Holbrook Judicial Center HVAC replacement project.
Motion to approve.
Second. Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
During installation, the contractor discovered the VAV's load calculation exceeded the current circuit on each floor. An additional hookup was required, damage to a chiller circuit needed to be repaired, and additional electrical work was required for 4 additional air handlers. This change order in the amount of $36,462 addresses these electrical concerns. This project is fully reimbursed by the Administrative Office of the Courts, and the cost adjustment due to this change order has been approved by AOC. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments for the court?
No.
Any questions or comments by the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
J, change order 3 for bid number 2425-30, Morton J. Holbrook Judicial Center HVAC replacement project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
The contractor's original time estimate assumed removing air handlers and chillers from the building in November of this year. However, the contractor is ahead of schedule by approximately 2 months. In order to remove the air handler and chillers in September and the facility to remain open, temporary air conditioning is required for an estimated 6 to 8 weeks. This change order in the amount of $179,925 covers 2 80-ton packaged air conditioning units to cool the building and maintain airflow during this downtime. This project is fully reimbursed by the Administrative Office of the Courts, and the cost adjustment due to this change order has been approved by AOC. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the court?
No.
Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
K, change order 2 for bid number 2425-39, fire hydrants installation project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
The contractor faced additional digging due to lines buried deeper than anticipated, delays due to mislocated water mains and lines, and the unanticipated removal of 1 hydrant. This bid also called out 1 line to be tapped as being PVC. However, that line turned out to be cast iron and required additional specialized tools. This change order in the amount of $23,020 covers the labor and material to address these issues. This cost will be fully reimbursed by the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority grant assistance agreement approved in fiscal court session held February 6, 2024. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court? No. Any questions or comments from the public? Do these fire hydrant ones, does this wrap up our project?
We are very close. We're over 90% of the way through this.
Okay, so not quite. All right, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. I do want to take just a second to thank Keith Herman, I see sitting in the back there, for all your work on this project. So from the very, very beginning to today. So thank you, sir.
L, award bid number 2425-91, landfill maintenance building project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon.
We received 5 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Hart's Contracting of Owensboro in the total amount of $991,246 for the construction of a maintenance building at the West Davis County landfill. This budgeted project will provide space for solid waste trucks to be serviced while on their normal route, streamlining vehicle and equipment maintenance while adding additional maintenance capacity at the landfill. Hart's Contracting of Owensboro is a known vendor. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court? No. Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
M, award bid number 2425-92, transfer station office building project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon.
We received 5 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by KM Construction Services, LLC, in the total amount of $484,000 for the construction of a new office building at the Grimes Avenue Transfer Station. This budgeted project is the first of 2 projects for the reconfiguration of the transfer station in anticipation of the return of CD&D. The current office will remain operational until the new facility is complete, at which time solid waste staff will demolish the old facility. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court?
No.
Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
N, deed of easement, Owensboro Municipal Utilities.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge, OMU currently has a permanent easement on the jail property for a well. This deed of easement is to allow OMU to abandon and cap the current well on the property and drill a new well approximately 15 feet from the current location, which is part of a replacement project they're pursuing for a few of their older wells. There are no costs associated to fiscal court. Jailer Magling are illegal, nor myself see any issues.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions or comments from the court? Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
O, promote Brian Cecil to Assistant Chief effective July 6th of 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate you, Brian, on your promotion, and thank you for your many years of service to our community.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the court?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
P, accept the retirement resignation of Trayson Campbell effective July 31st of 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Want to thank Trayson for his many years of service to our community and wish him well in his retirement. All those in favor? Any other comment?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
2, consideration for discussion. A, other business to be brought before the Davis County Fiscal Court. There is none that I'm aware of. B, public comments.
This is a part of our agenda where we invite the public to come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and speak to any item other than those that have been addressed on the agenda. Do I have any takers this evening?
C, comments by Davis County Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Condor.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, our guests, our Davis County Fire Department, thank you for your work. I see what you've done, the training that you've been involved with, especially this week, in cooperation with OFD. Okay, so it means a lot whenever our first responders can work together and be able to train together, because you will find a time whenever that is necessary. So each and every one of you, be safe, come home. Thank you for your service. Finally, the 4th of July celebration was absolutely awesome. It was just beautiful to see all the people and how much fun that they truly had. Even by opening up the other exits helped tremendously of how people treated each other. So I thought it was done very, very well. So thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Marksberry.
Thank you, Judge. We had a really informative meeting on Monday regarding the flooding drainage that we were facing in our community. We had folks come from the Division of Water, Corps of Engineers, Conservation Office, and many others attended the meeting, and I want to thank Commissioner Castlen for working so hard to put that meeting together. It was very informative, and there is much work still to be done, but I think we've made a lot of progress by having that meeting. And I'm also working on some things for the animal control ordinance for our county. We had a meeting this week with the Sheriff's Department, and so that is something else that is in the works. And again, like we mentioned with the Drug Steering Committee, we also have the opioid settlement funds. So there's much work to be done, and that's really all I have to say right now. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Commissioner Castlen.
Good part about going last, everything's been covered, so thank you both. And nothing else, Judge.
I've just got a couple things. I want to thank those who continue to participate with our Cash for Trash program. This week's folks that got paid: Apollo High School, Flamingos for Amber, Immaculate Parish Youth Group, Trinity High School, all their classes in a traveling classroom. And our paid contractor is Gish Lawn and Landscape. Just for the record, this is just for this week's claims. 2.99 tons of trash picked up on our roadsides. I thank all of them for their efforts. KYTC, Office of Highway Safety, will be having their Not So Fast Kentucky Speed Enforcement Campaign, which will run through July 31. Work zones are active job sites where workers are often just feet from traffic. Reduce speeds and attentive driving, help prevent crashes and protect everyone on the road. Senate Bill 107 increases fines for speeding and aggressive driving in work zones. In addition to fines of $500 or more, drivers may even have their license revoked depending on the violation. And I believe that they told us at our last conference we attended that it's about to go into effect, that if you're speeding over 10 miles an hour in a work zone, normally we just watch for cops and hope we don't get seen, but they're going to allow the installation of cameras that will identify you as a speeder. I believe I'm right on this, that there has to be workers in the work zone and there has to be an officer just beyond the work zone, and he or she will get the information to pull you over and give you a ticket. So you're going to be caught before you know you're caught. So it's just an effort to try to protect the lives of our workers on the roadside. So encourage everybody let's just obey the law. Our next fiscal court meeting will be July 25th at noon. That's a Friday. It's not our regular Thursday. So just a heads up to anyone that wishes to attend. And Brooke gave me a note, says Daviess County Softball Little League won the state championship, 16-1. So I assume that's hot off the press, and I assume it's factual. So congratulations to them. Anything else, Brooke? All right. Without further business, this meeting is adjourned.